Here's another potentially beneficial but critical video, which I guess doesn't make sense because beneficial wouldn't be an opposite to critical. But that's not why we're here to discuss semantics. Today we're going to dive into the inner workings of our brain and discover the 8 meals that you should avoid to boost that brain strength and improve your memory. Our relationship with food, it goes kind of without saying, right? It's the key to bettering our bodies and our minds. Food is the source of all of our energy requirements. I mean, no doy, right, YouTube dude? It's a vital component of our survival. We are, after all, what we eat, as the old saying goes that I made up right now. So we gotta highlight the correct sources, right? Isn't it twice the win, though, if, brain food also protects your heart and your arteries? Some of the foods do that, actually, according to several studies, so that's nice. And the good news is that they're found in a lot of regular foods that are accessible, but maybe we don't necessarily eat every day. So let's get you a list of foods that you can pick out at the shopping market to literally lengthen your life. That's not a selling point, so let's get into it. Now you're probably thinking, YouTube guy, what if I do eat stuff that's not good for my brain? Well, stop it. The brain is the most important organ in your body. It keeps your heart beating, your lungs breathing, and all of your body systems running. That's why a well-balanced diet is absolutely critical for maintaining brain health. Some foods are bad for the brain, lowering memory and mood, while also increasing the risk of dementia. See, dementia is expected to impact more than 65 million individuals worldwide by 2030, according to estimates anyways. Fortunately, eliminating some foods from your diet can actually help you minimize that risk of developing that condition. So, the 8 worst foods for your brain are here in this video. But before we do, begin, one little favor. I don't even need to say it. Like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. You got it. So let's get started. Sugar. Get it out. Push it. Get out of my house. No more sugar, all right? Sugary drinks not only expand your girth, your chonkiness, but they also raise your risk of type 2 diabetes and heart disease. And on top of it all off, it can make your brain slow. It can be that molasses for your brain juices. And also type 2 diabetes has been related to an increased risk of Alzheimer's, so if you like your memory, then don't eat that sugar. Increased blood levels can also increase the risk of dementia in those who don't have diabetes. So a lot of sugary drinks contain high fructose corn syrup, as you probably already know, which is comprised of 55% fructose and 45% glucose. Obesity, high blood pressure, high blood lipids, diabetes, and vascular dysfunction can all be caused by a high fructose intake. These metabolic syndrome traits might actually increase the long-term risk of, again, dementia. Keep your minds, people. Animal studies have connected high fructose consumption to insulin resistance in the brain, as well as impaired brain function, memory, learning, neuron formation. A high sugar diet increased brain inflammation and decreased memory in rats, according to one study. Furthermore, rats fed on an 11% HFCS diet, and they performed worse than rats fed on an 11% conventional sugar diet. Water, unsweetened tea, vegetable juice, and unsweetened dairy products are all amazing alternatives to sugary drinks. Drink your water, beaches. Refined carbohydrates include sugars and highly processed cereals like white flour. These carbohydrates have an incredibly high glycemic index, which means that they're very easily processed by your body, causing blood sugar and insulin levels to rise. Furthermore, these meals have a very high glycemic index when ingested in large quantities. In relation to the serving size, the GL reveals how much a food actually raises your blood sugar levels. According to research, a single meal with a high glycemic load can impair memory in both children and adults. Another study of healthy university students found that those who ate more fat and refined sugar had poorer memory. Inflammation had been linked to the development of degenerative brain diseases like Alzheimer's and dementia. Carbohydrates often have a very wide variety of effects on the brain. I mean, children aged 6 to 7 who ate high refined carbohydrate diets had lower nonverbal cognitive scores, according to one study. However, the researchers were unable to determine whether refined carb consumption was actually the source of the inferior findings, or if the two factors were simply linked. Low GI carbs include vegetables, fruits, legumes, and whole grains. The GI and GL of common foods can be determined using this database. Trans fats are basically an unsaturated fat that's been linked to a decline in brain health. While trans fats are very naturally prevalent in animal products like meat and dairy, they don't actually pose a serious health danger. Trans fats, often known as hydrogenated vegetable oils, they are the source of the problem. Artificial trans fats can be found in shortening, margarine, icing, snack foods, ready-made cakes, and prepackaged cookies. People who ingest more trans fats have an increased risk of Alzheimer's, and again, poorer memory, reduced brain capacity, and cognitive decline, according to studies. Saturated fat the research is contradictory. 3 observational studies indicated the link between saturated fat consumption and the risk of Alzheimer's disease, while a 4th study found the exact opposite. One explanation could be that a subgroup of the test populations had a genetic predisposition to the condition, which is caused by the APOE4 gene. More research on this topic, though, is absolutely required. A study of 38 women found that individuals who ate more saturated fat than unsaturated fat did worse on memory and recognition tests. So that was a lot till now, but wait for the top 2, as they're probably going to amaze you. I would guarantee. If I guarantee, I probably shouldn't have said probably, whatever. So foods that have been highly processed. No doy, right? I mean, that's everyone your grandma and your mom's grandma have told you. Chips, chocolates, quick noodles, microwave popcorn, store-bought sauces, ready-made meals are just a few examples of all this. These foods really often have a high calorie count but are just deficient in other nutrients. They are the kind of meals that make you gain weight, which is bad for your mental health. Processed foods in the Western diet have nutrient profiles that can harm the brain and lead to development of degenerative disorders. A study of 52 people found that consuming a high-fat, high-sugar diet resulted in lower levels of sugar metabolism in the brain, as well as a decrease in brain tissue. These characteristics are thought to be markers of Alzheimer's disease. Another study with 18,080 participants discovered that a diet strong in fried meals and processed meats are linked to worse learning and memory scores. Aspartame, an artificial sweetener, is the devil. Get it out. Oh my God, I hate aspartame. It's used in many sugar-free products. It's a very popular choice for people attempting to lose weight or avoid sweets if they have diabetes. It's also in a lot of commercial products that aren't intended for diabetes. However, despite the fact that the research is mixed, this commonly used sweetener has been linked to behavioral and cognitive issues. People who drank artificially sweetened soft drinks had a higher risk of stroke and dementia, according to this study. However, the type of sweetener used wasn't specified in the study, so the results are a little sketch, but they're still there. These findings have also been corroborated by some experimental studies in mice and rats. I know, it sucks. I love a good drink. But alcohol, as you probably already well know, excessive consumption can just blow your brain up. Can blow your body up, your liver up, all of it. And it, again, all linking back to negative consequences for the brain. Chronic alcohol abuse causes a decrease in brain capacity. It also causes metabolic abnormalities, disruption of neurotransmitters, which is the chemicals used by the brain. This syndrome is characterized by significant brain injury, including memory loss, vision abnormalities, disorientation, and unsteadiness. In non-alcoholics, excessive alcohol use might have detrimental consequences. The disruption of sleep patterns is just another effect of alcohol. Drinking a lot before bedtime has been linked to poor sleep quality and persistent sleep deprivation. Moderate alcohol intake, on the other hand, might provide some health benefits, like enhanced heart health and a lower risk of diabetes. Moderate alcohol intake, gotta stress that. Yeah, if you have like a glass of wine with dinner, it doesn't have any negative effects. In fact, some studies have found some positive effects. So, that being said, it's time for our top 2. Mercury is a heavy metal pollutant and a neurotoxin that can be kept in animal tissues for a long time. Long-lived predatory fish are particularly vulnerable to mercury accumulation and can carry concentrations up to 1,000,000 times higher than their surroundings. As a result, seafood, particularly wild types, is the principal source of mercury in humans. Mercury toxicity causes harm to the brain by disrupting several nervous system functions and neurotransmitters, as well as stimulating neurotoxins. Mercury can affect brain development and induce cell component breakdown in developing fetuses and early children. Cerebral palsy and other developmental delays and disabilities might result as a result or byproduct of the mercury exposure. A lot of us like to shove that thick, juicy flank of steak right into our meat holes. But did you know about the dangers of red meat? Red meat is, as the title would imply, commonly red when raw, and a darker color after it's cooked, in contrast to white meat, which is, don't even need this, it's pale in color before and after cooking, yada yada. You've probably seen meat before. It should come as no surprise, though, that red meat should be consumed in moderation for better brain function. Inflammation, saturated fat intake, like other health concerns, can increase the risk of stroke and neurological illnesses like dementia and Alzheimer's. Saturated fat in red meat is high, which can lead to plaque accumulation in the brain. People who replace red meat in their diet with poultry, fish, and beans have better cognitive performance, according to research. Final thoughts, my boys, my girls, my dogs, my dogettes. Your nutrition has a significant impact on your mental health. Inflammatory eating patterns high in sugar, refined carbohydrates, unhealthy fats, processed foods, all of these can lead to memory and learning problems, as well as raise your risk for diseases like Alzheimer's and dementia. This does not, however, imply that you must absolutely eliminate any of these meals. And in truth, some of these meals, like I've said, like wine and seafood, are really good for one and beneficial to their health. Following a diet rich in nutritious, fresh, whole foods is among the best things you can do for your brain. So don't forget to be one step away from all those foods, and don't forget to spend a little bit of extra time, shopping for them, making sure that you can provide yourself healthy, well-balanced meals at least a couple of times a week. So, was this video helpful to you? If it was, I don't care. I'm too cool for that. Whatevs. Yeah, share your thoughts in the comment section below if you feel like it or whatevs. So, yeah, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos. That's all I got, dude. So, unless you want to sit and listen to me do this voice for a little while longer, I mean, I'm down with that if you're down with that. You down? Oh, dude. Okay, I have to go now, unfortunately. Yeah, no, I like have to go. Okay, see you later, dude.